Okay, Rabotai, we are on. Welcome to everyone. Today, Rabbi Aaron was supposed to take over. Something came up. He was not able to do so. B'ezrat Hashem will do it today. Billy Nether, we'll see today in the Musar class, in the ethical teaching I want to speak about today. Do we really love God? And again, everybody has to see it for themselves if they love God or not. It's not for me to judge, but everybody has to see their own barometer if they do love Hashem or not. And I'll show you to you today, and it's in Masechet Pesachim, and then I'm going to show you the halacha, and we'll try to go ahead and try to see as much as we can do, Be'ezrat Hashem. Okay, before we do begin that class, I want to continue on the laws of speaking about Mayim Achronim. If a person does not have Mayim Achronim, you're driving somewhere, you don't have with you a bottle of water, you have nothing with you, are you allowed to go ahead and use, baby wipes, or those wet wipes, anything, to be able to clean your hand and then say Birkat Hamazon? Or are we going to tell you you must use water?
You can use any liquids, I think.
So if you don't have liquid, Mike, if you don't have liquid, correct? Can I use a baby wipe? Can I use anything that is moist?
I think so. I mean, sometimes I use, those the cleaning things for the hands.
Right, the cleaning wipe, right? Sanitizer.
Yeah,
Okay.
sanitizers.
So we have to remember the whole reason why we wash Mayim Achronim is because of Melech Sedomit. So what is Melech Sedomit? Melech Sedomit means it's sold from Sodom. Now, again, today is not really found, it's not common, but what we are really afraid of is like this, that if a person during the meal, he's touching salt, we're afraid he's going to go and he's going to scratch his eye, like inside the eye, and it's going to burn his eyes. So we want to be able to remove that salt. So comes Allah and it says, if that is the whole purpose and you don't have water, so anything else that's going to be able to remove the salt will be able to do the job. So therefore, hand sanitizer or baby wipes or wet wipes, anything like that, you're going to be allowed to go ahead and use it before benching Birkat Hamazon if you do not have water. Is that clear? Yes? Okay.
Yes.
Fine. Now the next halacha I do want to speak about, what happens if a person forgot to do Mayim Achronim and he benched? Is he obligated to go now and either wash his hands or wipe his hands? You had a bread meal?
Yes.
Do you have to go back and now do it, even you already benched? So the halakha is going to tell us you have to go and you have to wash your hands again. Why? Because for that same reason, since you have salt on your hand and we want to be able to remove it. Okay? So therefore, if a person forgot to do Mayim Achronim before saying Birkat Hamazon, we're going to tell him after you finish Birkat Hamazon, go ahead and wash your hands. There was Rabbi Mansour one time said, he was giving a class to students and about the importance of doing Mayim Achronim. So there was one kid over there, you always have a wise guy. He said, come on, Rabbi, what are the chances? What's going to happen? Who's going to put their hand in their eye? Who does it today? That day, Mike, he went that day to eat pizza. You have in the pizza, you have those spices, cheese, and he put those red peppers, the pepper, and he started putting on the whole pizza. While he was eating the pizza, one of the peppers got stuck on his finger. And the guy was wearing contacts. He wanted to fix his contacts and he burned his eye to such an extent they had to rush him to the hospital. So when Rabbi Mansour found out about this, he said, you see, there's a reason why the rabbis of blessed memory, they teach us these halachot. Even if it might not never happen, but we always have to take precautions. In life, it's always about taking precautions and not just, going, full of force without thinking where you're going. Okay. Now, Rabotai, another halakha I want to speak about, very important halakha. What happens if a person is in the middle of a bread meal? You wash your hands. Now you're having a bread meal with your family or by yourself. In the middle of their bread meal, you went and you used the restroom. Or you scratched, under your shirt or under your hat. Or you put on shoes or you changed your child's diaper. Do you need to rewash your hands or not? You guys hear the question?
Yes, I think you need to do it again because you make yourself the hands dirty.
Correct. Beautiful. So that's going to be the halakha. The halakha is going to state that if a person is in the middle of the bread meal and he touched any closed area of the body, of course underneath of the clothing, we're going to require him to go back and rewash his hands like you do for bread without saying the blessing of Al Nislat Yadayim. You don't say that blessing. You just rewash your hands. Okay? Same halakha is going to apply if a person touched the cloth, the skin of a mezuzah, or the skin of a megillah. If you touch those things in the middle of a meal, you're going to have to get up and you're going to have to wash your hands. Okay. Shh. Is this clear, guys?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Rabotai, now we're going to get on to the Musar class. How many of you guys say every single day, at least 2 times a day, Shema Yisrael? How many of you guys do it? Or does anyone know what that is even? Noah, you know what that is, Noah?
2 times a day. 2 times, that's obligation.
Correct. Noah, you say Shema Yisrael, Noah?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to share with you like this. When we're saying Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad, listen to this very important sentence. We're saying over there, Ve'ahavta et Hashem Elokecha, b'chol levavecha, u'v'chol nafshecha, u'v'chol miyodecha. Right? You have to love Hashem, your God, with all your soul, with all your possessions, meaning with all your wealth, and with all your heart. Now, does that bother you? That verse is being repetitive? It says, B'chol nafshecha u'v'chol miyodecha. Does that bother you that it's being repetitive or not? Or you guys don't understand my question? Shh. Okay, Rabotai, so I'm going to show you like this. The Gemara Masechet Pesachim in Daf Chav Hei Amud Aleph states like this. Rabbi Eliezer says, Im ne'emar b'chol nafshecha, if it already states in the Torah, b'chol nafshecha, that you have to love Hashem with all your soul, lama ne'emar b'chol me'odecha? Why does it have to say with all your possession? V'im ne'emar b'chol me'odecha, and if it's going to say with all your possession, lama ne'emar b'chol nafshecha? Why do you have to go back and say with all your soul? It's redundant. Teach me one and I'll know the other. Rashi says on the spot, Rashi says something very fascinating, and this is very sad. Lefi shepamim shezeh chaviv upamim shezeh chaviv. You have certain people that they're ready to die but not give up their money. You ask them, would you rather pay for it or die? They rather die. You have certain people that they love their life but they would rather give up their money and not die. You know, you have these kind of people. So comes Rashi. Rashi says sometimes you have a person that loves life. Sometimes you have a person that loves money more than life. Comes the Gemara and says, this is why I needed to teach you both of these things. Why? Listen to this, Rabotai. Lomar, to say, Ohev et borcha yoter min hachaviv alecha. You should love Hashem. You should love Hashem, meaning your creator, more than that what is dear on you. Now let me try to explain how important this is. Listen to what's going on over here. Noah, you with me, Noah? Listen to this, Rabotai. Imagine for yourself for a second, if a person comes to you and puts a gun to your head, and he says, I want you to go and kill that person. Comes the Gemara, and this is the Halakha and the Shulchan Aruch, and it states over there, you have to kill yourself. You have to show that you love Hashem more. You have to kill yourself. But what happens, Rabotai, you have a person that he has money right now. He has $10,000 in front of him. But at the same time, somebody forces him to eat pig. What should he do? And the guy tells him, look, you give me your $10,000, I will let you go free. What should you do? Should you eat the pig or give him the money?
You gotta give him the money.
How many of us are going to give him the money? How many of us are going to give him the money? Comes the Gemara Masechet Pesachim, and the Gemara says, you have to love Hashem more than you love your body. You have to love Hashem more than you love your money. If it comes to times where you have to give up your body and love Hashem, do it. If it comes to situations in life where you have to love Hashem more than your money, you have to do it. What does that mean? Now, Mike, I want to explain to you what does that mean. Listen to this beautiful understanding. It's not only about killing oneself, correct? It's also about being in the wrong places. Now, when I have to go somewhere physically, let's say the beach, or let's say a club, or places like this, I'm not supposed to be there. So when I'm going there, what am I showing Hashem? I love my body more than I love you, Hashem. I'm willing to go to the beach, I'm willing to go to the club, or even the strip club, just to enjoy myself. So you're showing Hashem you don't really love Him. You're showing Hashem you love your body. Comes the Torah, it says, love Hashem with all your soul. Give up that to show Hashem how much you love Him. Now let's go the other way. You have people also that love their money more. What does that mean? For example, you have certain people that for money, they'll do sin. Right? They'll steal, they'll cheat, they'll lie. Why? Because they love the money. Comes the Torah says, do what Hashem says. If you really love Hashem, do what's right. Another example is, I gave this example to one person, he was not happy about it, but that's not my problem. You have today, unfortunately, DJs, correct? You have DJs, or you have these singers, or you have these, what do you call these, dore players, I don't know, all these people, right? You have all these people, correct? When you ask them, why do you go to these parties, and why do you play in parties where you have women that are dressed like zonot, which means prostitutes, and they're dancing in front of you? Why are you going? So you know what he tells me? $500. Rabbi, $500. Oh, so you're showing me that money is more important to you than what Hashem says. Comes the Torah says, you have to give up that money, don't go there. But go ahead and try to show how much you love Hashem. By doing the right thing, you show how much you love Hashem. And this is our real challenge today. Today when we go against Hashem, for example, a person wants to look at a forbidden picture. A person wants to go sleep with a married woman, God forbid. What is he doing? He's actually satisfying his bodily needs. Are you allowed to do that? No. Why are you doing it? Because your soul, your body, it comes prior to Hashem. Comes the Torah tells us, love Hashem your God with all your soul. Even if it goes against your neshama, even if it goes against your body, you can't do it, still love me, Hashem says. And the same concept with money, Rabotai. We have to understand, loving Hashem is not doing whatever I want to do whenever I want to do, and serving Hashem whenever I want to serve Hashem. It doesn't work like that. We have to be 100% with Hashem. And this is what we don't have. And this you can see, you can ask yourself, look, when you, again, I'm not speaking about nobody per se, when you're by yourself, correct? Like somebody told me the other day, I don't know, I can't even understand how this works, but whatever, he says he's a rabbi, I don't know what kind of rabbi. He said him and his wife, they went to the beach and then they went to the pool in a certain hotel in a certain place. I said, one second, I don't even want to speak about your wife. How did you go? I mean, you have all these women that are immodest. He said, what? I went, I was keeping my eyes down. I said, you're not allowed to do so. Yeah, but then I told him, listen, what about your wife? Oh, she was fully covered. She had a long bathing suit, like a dress. And that's the way she was swimming. 1 second. When she comes out, what, you don't see her body figure? That's not allowed. But these problems, Rabotai, when we're alone, we go against Hashem. We don't love Hashem. We do what's good for us. We have to learn to love Hashem unconditionally. If He tells us to do A, B, and C, we do A, B, and C. If He tells us you're not allowed to do A, B, and C, we don't do A, B, and C. And this is what a lot of people don't see. They think, but thank God, I'm serving Hashem 10%. Thank God for that. That's a very big problem. I want to ask you guys like this. If you had an opportunity to make $10,000, let's make it $1,000, make it simple. If you had an opportunity to make $1,000 in 1 hour, or you had an opportunity to make $100 in 1 hour, we all know we would have chosen the $1,000 in 1 hour, correct? We wouldn't be happy with $100. But why, when it comes to Avodat Hashem, we're fine with the 10% that we give Hashem? Why is that okay? What about the other 90% that I could have gave Hashem also? Now guys, you have to remember this. When you're serving Hashem halfway, your reward is proportional to the way you serve Hashem. So if you're really there and you're happy and you love Hashem and you're really doing it from the bottom of your heart, you're getting 100% reward. But if not, 10% reward, 20% reward. Right? You understand how it works? It works proportional to how much you put in. That's how it works, Rabotai. There's no gimmicks, there's no shortcuts in religion. And that's what we have to try to understand. That's why when we say, Ve'ahavta et Hashem Elokecha, b'chol levavecha v'chol nafshecha v'chol miyodecha, why did I have to write both? The give up your soul, and why did I have to give up your money? At times, Rabotai, we love our money more than our souls. At times, we love our soul more than our money. Comes the Torah says, I wrote both of them to teach you. Give that up in order to love me. If what you're about to do wrong is not allowed, meaning if what you're about to do right now is wrong and it's not allowed, you have to not do it. You have to be able to give that up. Now, Rabotai, I want to read for you something even more powerful in the Mishnah in the Biur Halacha. I don't know if you guys are aware, there are 6 constant mitzvot that if you guys think about it, you're getting paid. Every second you're getting paid. One of them is to love Hashem. One of them is to love Hashem. Now, how does one love Hashem? That's the real question. How does one come to love Hashem? There's many ways you can love Hashem. One way, if you have an opportunity to sin against Hashem and you stop yourself, you're getting paid at that moment. That is a very big thing. So comes the Biur Halacha, he says, how can a person come to love Hashem? He says over here, Al Yidei Torah. The way a person can come to love HaKadosh Baruch Hu is through learning His Torah. When you start learning Hashem's Torah, you start appreciating the wisdom, the chokhmah that how did Hashem, how do you write such a beautiful Torah? Like it says in the Pasuk, it says, let these words, the words of Torah, that I command you today, not yesterday, not tomorrow, today each and every one has an obligation to follow Hashem. Let that be on your heart. By you understanding Rabotai, who wrote the Torah, who gave us the Torah, why we were even redeemed from Egypt, is because of the Torah. So we can be a nation to Hashem. You're going to come to start recognizing who HaKadosh Baruch Hu is. But that can only happen, Rabotai, when we start putting our energy into religion. A lot of times we put our energy other places. We got to learn how to put our energy into Avodat Hashem. He says over here, he says, when you start contemplating in Hashem's Torah, you start recognizing Hashem's greatness. There's no end. Hashem is infinite. Then you're going to start loving Hashem. Then you're going to start appreciating what religion is. And he says, so how does one do the mitzvah? How do you know, Rab, how do you know right now? Okay, Rabbi, I'm going to go learn Torah. How do I know if I really love Hashem or not? Here's the litmus test. Look what he says. Shireh Adam lasim kol magamoto v'chol machshavoto achar ahavat Hashem yitbarach. You have to place everything you have, your mind, all your potential, all your capability, all your power. You have to go after Hashem, may He be blessed. And this is how you have to evaluate. V'ya'arich bilibo. You have to make this calculation in your heart. Ki kol ma sheyesh ba'olam. Everything that you have in this world, me'osher, from wealth, ubanim, children, what's greater than children? V'chavod, and honor, hakol hu ke'ayin neged ahavato yitbarach. Everything has to be like zero before you when it comes to the love of Hashem. If I tell you right now, who do you love more? Your wife, your children, your money, your honor, your house. You have to be able to say, I love Hashem more. When you are able to do that I love you Hashem more, then it's going to be easier for you to serve Hashem. Because when they're going to come and tell you, let's do something wrong, you're going to be able to say, I can't do it. Why? Because I'm with Hashem. I'm not with you guys. You guys see how it works over here? That's what, Rabotai, it's very important that sometime, I don't know, take a few seconds, a few minutes during the day, just start understanding your heart, Baruch Hashem, works. Your fingers move, you breathe, you eat, you talk, you move. Who makes all these things work? HaKadosh Baruch Hu. If Hashem is the one that is giving it to you, don't you think you're indebted to Him? You owe Him something back? I want to tell you, I was when I had a what do you call these weight trainers? I had this guy, whatever. I built a gym in my own basement, but before then, I had a guy who was training me how to do proper weights. And when I told him, listen, I don't have time. You know what he told me? Rob, listen to what he told me, Rob. It's nuts. He told me, Rabbi, from 24 hours in a day, you want to tell me you don't have 1 hour for your body? That's what he told me. I took that as a life lesson. Well, I started with Baruch Hashem. But I said to myself, are we that foolish that Hashem gives us 24 hours in a day? What, we can give back to Hashem 2 hours, 3 hours a day of learning Torah? Why is it so hard? Where's the 24 hours? Where is the 24 hours? Rabotai, if you start calculating where your time is going, you're going to see a lot of it is being wasted. That's what, Rabotai, we have to be very careful when it comes to loving Hashem. We have to ask ourselves, do I love Hashem? And the answer will be when the next time you have an opportunity to show Hashem that you love Him by not sinning against Him or by doing mitzvot, from there you'll know if you love Hashem or not. When you wake up in the morning, Joey, how do you wake up in the morning? Are you excited? Are you up and running? Or you wake up 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock? Whatever. It doesn't make no difference for me. That's a very big problem. That's a very big problem. If I told you right now you're going to have $1 million waiting for you tomorrow morning at 3 o'clock in the morning, you would wake up. But why, when it comes to speaking to Hashem, davening to Hashem, why am I not that excited? I should also be excited. I should also jump out of my bed. But that's what the Shulchan Aruch says in Halach Aleph and Siman Aleph, that a person has to go out and he has to be able to get up like a lion, not like a turtle. I want to read for you Halakha in the Shulchan Aruch. I don't know how many people know this Halakha. Maybe some of you guys do. But it's going to blow your mind off. Why am I bringing this down now? You have a lot of times, you have people today, Baruch Hashem, Mike, today you have Baruch Hashem people that not only do they sin, they pay for their sins. Joey, you know what I mean or no, Joey? No, you don't know what I mean? So let me explain to you like this. Listen how it works. How many times, were you invited to a party where there's mixed dancing? Or you were invited to go travel somewhere with your family to Aruba, Bahamas, Mexico? I know. Not kosher places. Yeah, the food might be kosher. That's all Baba Meister. That's all storytelling. What about the woman? Are the women kosher there? How many times have we traveled and we pay to sin? It happens, correct, Joey, or no? Joey, it happens. People tell me. Rob, the sad part is, they tell me, Rabbi, I'm going to Mexico. Where are you going? This hotel, okay? Where are you going to stay? Here. But don't worry, Rabbi. There's kosher food. I'm not worried about kosher food. Rabbi, don't worry. There's a Chabad center. I'm not worried about. They're good religious Jews. But the problem is you think just because there's kosher food on a cruise or on a beach or in a hotel, so automatically you think, I'm allowed to be there. You're not allowed to be there. I'm not allowed to be there. This is how we show Hashem that we love Him. Look what the halakha says, Rabotai. Listen what the halakha says. You're not going to believe this, Rabotai. It's in Simon Kuf Nun Zayin in halakha Aleph. The Ramah says it. Listen to this. Let me just give you a small introduction so you guys can understand it. If you had somebody come to you and they would put a gun to your head and they would tell you to go ahead, do something against Hashem, a sin. Let's say eat not kosher food. Well, I don't know what. Right? Look what he says. But he says over here, if you are able to save yourself, let's say this guy finds out you have a lot of money, and you are able to save yourself, what are you supposed to do? Look what the Ramah paskins in the Shulchan Aruch. Ve'im yuchal la'atzil atzmo b'chol asher lo. Rabotai, this is not normal. If I am able to save myself from doing the sin with everything that I possess, I could have 10 buildings, $100 billion. Tzarich leiten hakol. You got to give everything up. Velo ya'avor lo taseh. You cannot do one negative commandment. You know what's a negative commandment at the Rab? Speaking negative, cursing, lashon hara, look at other women that are immodest. All these things are a problem. Comes to halakha, and the halakha states over here, If you had an opportunity to give up everything you own, you have to give it up. You know why, Mike? Because that's how you show you love Hashem. That's how you show you love Hashem. You ever see people, Chas v'shalom lo aleinu, when they do a kidney transplant? I don't know if you guys seen it, right? They look for the proper kidney. Oh, he's this type. Oh, perfect. And from then on, these people are always grateful for them. Rabotai, what? For one kidney that he gave you, and because of that you're alive, you have to thank him for the rest of your life? Yes, of course you have to. Comes the Torah tells us how much more so when it comes with Hashem. Hashem gave you your whole body, your eyes, your ear, your nose, everything's working, functioning. Tell me, you don't think you owe your life to Hashem? Of course we owe our life to Hashem. And what do we have to do, Rabotai? We have to be able to stop going against Hashem. Even if it requires me to pay money not to attend it, I have to be able to give it up. Even if it requires me losing money by not being in certain places, I'd rather take the loss of money than go and sin, God forbid, against Hashem. This is very important, Rabotai. This is how you're going to be able to see if you are 100% with Hashem or not. You might be 20%, you might be 30%, but Rabotai, it's not the same when you are 100% with Hashem. So that's what we learned from today's class. When it says, you have to be able to give up your soul, meaning you can't go to places where you're not supposed to be. You want to show Hashem you love Him? Do the right things. Do the right things with your body. Just like you and I understand, if somebody goes ahead right now and takes a gun and shoots a person, we're going to say he's a bad person. Okay, maybe he's bad because he killed somebody. But a person that goes ahead and he kills his own neshama through sinning, Rabotai, you can't have a worse person than him. Because you're not only dying physically, you are also dying spiritually. And that's something we don't want. If you guys have any questions, I'll take it. If not, we will conclude over here. I have another class to teach. Yeah, Joey, I don't hear you, Joey. I don't hear you, Joey.
Tell me, Rabbi, with the
Go ahead.
With the Maya Makim Choa, can we use tissues? I forgot that part. I missed that part.
So with the Mayim Achrin Chova, you are only allowed to use tissues or something moist, preferably something wet, so you can take away the residue on your fingers. But that's only if you don't have water.
And fingertip, right? Towards
No,
the
no,
fingertip,
no.
right?
We said yesterday it's up to your knuckles.
Up to the knuckles. Oh,
correct.
Okay.
If you're minimal on water, you can do it up to the second knuckles.
Got
Okay.
it.
Joey, what do you want to say, Joey? Good. Okay. Okay. You can. Okay. I can hear you. Fine. Rabotai, everybody have a blessed day. Have an excellent Shabbos. I'll see you guys.
Shabbat, Rabbi.
Good Shabbos. I'll see you guys.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. I'll see you now.
Noah. Good seeing you, Noah.